All right, you just went out, you just ate a delicious meal, you went to a nice restaurant, your favorite restaurant, or maybe it's a restaurant that you haven't gone to as much, and then you ate some delicious, rich food. And guess what? The inevitable happens, smelly gas. It literally happens to the best of us. And a lot of the times, it's our spouse that actually gets the worst of it. So, what do we do about this smelly gas and why does it occur? And sometimes, why does it happen on this frequent basis? Not just when I go out to a restaurant and eat food there, but I'm always dealing with smelly gas. And that's something that a lot of us deal with all the time. And if that's occurring, it might be worth doing a little bit of investigation on why exactly that's happening. So one of the biggest reasons for consistent gas is that if you have a food intolerance to a particular food group, for instance, if you're lactose intolerant, the enzymes in your digestive system simply are not breaking down that lactose properly, and then it's producing more gas. And the same can be said for gluten intolerance. Breads or other types of wheat type based products, there might be a gluten intolerance, and that too can disrupt the digestive process and create that smelly gas. And while there are those food intolerances, simply sometimes there's just foods that we just can't digest very well. And those foods can usually contain a lot of sulfur or a lot of fiber. Sulfur-based foods, for instance, like onion, broccoli, or other types of meats, these have sulfur compounds that are discharged and create that really pungent, rotten egg type smell to our gas. And thirdly, as foods are something that we constantly consume, there are also medications that for medical conditions that we may be going through, which also affect that digestive process. And that can also lead to those unpleasant, surprise, smelly farts, which, sometimes can be funny. Other times, it's just not that great for others and even for ourselves. So when we look at all those different variables, what can we do about it in terms of foods and everything like that? And so one thing that a lot of people do is they create a journal, like a food journal or a meal journal, that is, and they jot down, what happened, like what did they eat and how fast did they eat it, and all the little different details and notes to really help with their investigation as to why am I dealing with this consistent smelly gas. There's definitely some tactics that have come about all of this. For instance, what has worked for some people is they'll drink like water or anything like that 30 minutes before eating their food. Because sometimes when you're drinking a lot of fluids and eating food at the same time, that can be disruptive to the digestive process and also just slowing down when you eat. When you're eating food fast, you're swallowing air, which also produces gas, and that can be troublesome for our digestive process. And I've also heard that other people, they like to use activated charcoal. Now that's something that people will talk with their nutritionist or their physician about. But activated charcoal is this incredible thing that we can take. It's been used for thousands of years. It dates back to the Egyptians where they used activated charcoal. And that can be really helpful for a digestive process. But that's always something that you have to kind of consult with your nutritionist about. There's simethicone. That also is something that doctors, will recommend a lot of times. It's brands like Gas-X use it, simethicone. And that really helps, stop passing gas quite a bit. Now there's some people that if they don't really understand what that word is, they may not necessarily want to take it. They may want to take a natural remedy. And so some of the herbs that are out there have actually really helped with the digestive process. Ginger, for instance, has been very useful for a lot of people. And so at the end of the day, there's a lot of different types of different courses of action that you can take in terms of helping with some of that gassiness that we all can deal with every once in a while. And while it may produce some good laughs every once in a while, again, when it's too much, if you're going to bed and you just want to simply have a nice night of sleep and you're passing gas from whatever it was, the food or whatever it was that you did that produced that bad gas, it's even just for yourself. You may want to be able to avoid those Dutch oven farts, as they call them. I know, for instance, something that I really like to use is Tootles Underwear. I am actually the co-founder of Tootles Underwear, and this is an underwear that you can wear. It's a very comfortable, standard style of underwear. There's styles for men and there's styles for women, and this uses a combination of organic bamboo cotton and activated charcoal or activated carbon. Those are both synonymous terms, and we've been able to get this activated carbon into the knit form, which is a really powerful property. And so as gas passes through this sequence of fabrics, it filters out that rotten egg type smell. And so I like to wear it when those surprise smells start coming. I can throw it on and it filters out the smell, which is nice for myself and also for my spouse. And the great thing is that it works immediately. For instance, if you have to take a substance or anything like that, that might take some time to kick in. So that's where the underwear can be really helpful in those tricky circumstances. And so you can find out more, Tootles Underwear. It can be found on Amazon or it can be found on our website. Our website is weartootles.com, weartootles.com. You can find it if you're watching on YouTube, you can find it in the description below, or if you're listening to this, or if you're watching this on a different channel, you can just Google or type in the website URL, weartootles.com.